What up, my guys? We went to another show, man. Thursday edition, NBA Talk with Jay. Ronald wasn't able to make it today, but I think he'll be in tomorrow, my guys. Sorry, I'm a little late to the show, man. Had some things going on right before the show, man. Just gotta have a little fun, man. You gotta live your life. You see what I'm saying? But I don't have the banners made anything, man. But I'm here. What is it like 5 or 6 games? Um, I wasn't gonna make any plays, man, but I did make some. I did make some. I'm not gonna bullshit you guys. Obviously, got to get the cash back from yesterday. It was a horrible day for me, man, but I'm still here though. You see what I'm saying? I'm still here. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I appreciate everybody for sticking with me. You see what I'm saying? How many games we got? We got 7 games. Damn, I thought it was like 5. Okay, but I know a few of them I don't have much on, but let's get straight to it here. I want to go from top to bottom in this one. First game up, we're going to the streets of Boston in this one, guys. No banners today, my guys. Unfortunately, no banners today. But let's get over here to the streets of Boston here. Celtics laying 9 at the house versus the Cavs. Last game, Cavs gave them everything they could handle. We saw Jaylen Brown kind of twist his kind of come down off of me. I don't know how he missed that dunk because I was watching that game. It was a real good game. Cavs gave them everything they can handle. Remember, they were on a back-to-back coming from Orlando. They were coming from a back-to-back from Orlando up to Boston, and they were up double digits in that game. Celtics kept making a push at it. They kept going down, but they still didn't cover that spread. Now Jaylen Brown, I'm not gonna say he's out for sure, but Jaylen Brown might be out tonight. The way that he came down wrong on his ankle and axed out of the game, and he's questionable here with that same ankle. And if they have championship aspirations, I mean, you never know. These guys could play, but if it was me, I'd probably bet that he's not gonna be in here. That's just me personally. I'd lean Cavs here once again. Donovan Mitchell gave them all they can handle. Darius Garland gave them all that they can handle. And remember, they're still without Mobley as well. Allen did good down low as far as defending the paint, defending Porzingis. I kind of like what I saw in the last game versus the Cavs. They really turned up in this particular spot. Now, the Celtics are on the first game of a back-to-back. They have a big, not big, but I believe they lost both matchups this year versus the Orlando Magic, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it's just one matchup, but regardless, they have revenge. They lost by 17 points to the Orlando Magic, my guys. And there was a tournament game as well. That was the game that the Celtics needed, if I'm not mistaken. So they're coming off a 17-point loss to their Magic. They not coming off, but that's what they had. So not necessarily the Celtics going to look ahead, but some tells me that Brown doesn't sit here. I'd heavily lean towards Cavs plus the 9 in this game. I know the Celtics might not get off to a bad start like this again, but the Cavs can match up well with them. Somebody told me last game that the Cavs are trash. I don't think so. I think the Cavs are a top tier. I think they're a top 3 Eastern Conference team, especially when they get all their guys in. They turn up for these type of spots. Cavs plus a 9 is a heavy lean of mine in this game, my guys. Let's over here to the streets of Miami in this one, man. Heat land 4 points, land 3.5 now at the house versus the Bulls. I wonder if somebody is questionable here. This line was at 5.5 last night, my guys. This line was at 5.5. The Bulls have won 4 of the last 6 versus the Miami Heat. So they faced off twice already this year. And remember, the Bulls got kicked out of the in-season tournament. Not the in-season tournament. I had it right this time. The play-in tournament. The Bulls got kicked out of the play-in tournament by the Heat last year. So what did they do? First game of the season, they beat the Bulls 102-97 at the house. Then they played again a couple days later. The Heat smacked them up 118-100. I'm pretty sure Bam Adebayo played in both of those games. Yeah, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo played in both of those games. The Bulls are a different team, though, now. The Bulls are actually playing like an actual formidable NBA team now. You see what I'm saying? They had Levine in then. He had, 13 points the first game, but it doesn't matter. They're playing a lot better. It'd be interesting to see if Caruso plays in this game. This is a game that I did sprinkle some on the Bulls last night. It wasn't anything heavy, but it's just like I'm just making a few plays. And I was like, all right, I'll put a little sum on Bulls plus 5.5. So I still think the Bulls can win this game outright. The Heat here, obviously on a back-to-back, they've been playing somewhat okay, but they hadn't really been covering spreads back-to-back, in my opinion. And it could be the same thing that happened last time. Bulls take the first one, then the Heat take the second one. Remember, they still got that play-in tournament revenge. See what I'm saying? I heavily lean towards the Bulls in this particular game. It's not a ton to say about it. The Bulls, I just feel like they've been playing really good basketball. They've covered 5 of their last 6 games. They damn near covered versus the Denver Nuggets as well. Remember, they were coming off an overtime game versus Milwaukee, had to fly back home and then face the Denver Nuggets. Jokic got ejected, they were still able to keep that game close. So I heavily lean the Bulls, even at this number plus 3.5, but it's nothing official for me here. But let's go over here to the streets of Dallas here, guys. I can't say I like this spot. I like this game here. This is a spot where I don't think that don't tell me Levine might be back. That's not good. I think don't tell me that Levine's back. Somebody say that in the chat. I don't want to see that. I wouldn't take the Bulls if Levine back. It sounds crazy, but I still lean their way. I like the Wolves here. I like the Timberwolves here, man. First off, I don't think they should be underdogs. Now, you will need Anthony Edwards in this game, but I think that they can win this game with defense. This Wolves team is a top-tier defensive team. Now, let me just look at the Mavs games, because I feel like when they go up against a top-tier defense, they don't really do well. They went up against Oklahoma City Thunder at the house. They did go on a 30-0 run, but they still lost their game. Who else? They went up against the Rockets at the house. Their game was really close. They went up against the Clippers in LA, lost the game by 19. Went up against the Lakers. Lakers had a horrible start. They came all the way back and made it like a 3-point game. But remember, these are games with Kyrie as well. Let's see. They went up against the Sacramento Kings, who the defense isn't horrible. Lost their game by 16 points. Both games. Now, they did play one really good game versus the Pelicans because they have a top-tier defense, but I believe that was before they got their guys back. They did 136-124 the first game in New Orleans. Then the second game, when the Pelicans was like, all right, we stopping all this shit with Luka. We locking this shit up. They got smacked in that game by 21. So, in my opinion, I don't think that the Mavs do well versus really good defensive teams. This Minnesota Timberwolves team is one of the best defensive teams in the league. All I need is Jaden McDaniels in there. I would love to have Anthony Edwards, but me taking the Wolves last night plus the 2, that's me saying I think Edwards is going to be in there. But you know what? The type of energy that I got, I can't say I don't care if he's out, because I'm expecting him to be in. He did practice yesterday. I need Jaden McDaniels in there. I need him to be all over Luka. This is the way I'm looking at the game. I think Luka goes under his 33.5 points. I think Mavs go under their team total. They had to have guys like Dante Exum and shit like that to get hot versus the Lakers. They did all that, only won the game by 2. Remember that Luka's telling you himself that he's not getting much sleep. He has a new baby. So I'm saying he has a brand new baby girl. I don't care how rich you are. If you have a new baby girl, you're not going to want the nurses and stuff to be taking care of your baby. You're going to want to take care of your baby yourself with your wife. Like, it's just different when it's your first kid. Luka admitted himself he's not been having much sleep. I know he's been playing, he's been balling out, but you can tell that he's kind of running out of gas. I think this is the spot. They needed Tim Hardaway Jr. to go for 32 last game. Luka had 33 and 17 assists. They needed Dante Exum to go 7 of 9 for 3 with 26 points. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that I don't think that shit's going to happen again, man. Somebody said Jaden is out. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see, because I need McDaniels. Somebody let me know, because don't play with me here. I need McDaniels in there because he's the main guy that's going to be on Luka, guys. So don't play with me. If it's really happened, that's cool. But just let me check something real quick. Let me see. I need Jaden McDaniels in there. I already bet the Wolves though, but let me see. So let's see. Porzingis added to the injury report as probable. Yeah, I don't see McDaniels out. Stop playing, man, with that. I need McDaniels in there. I think McDaniels in this game is even more important than Anthony Edwards, because we saw Anthony Edwards come back last time and he was like, oh, I don't really, he's just questionable. Yeah, I like the Wolves here, man. I like the Wolves. I don't think they should be underdogs in this game. These two teams played in the preseason. I know that's when the Mavs didn't have a ton of continuity yet, but they still had Kyrie in. And you know what? The Wolves just went in there and locked them down both games in a row. The games are like in Dubai. They were in Dubai or something like that. But this is just a game where the Wolves are coming off a game where they got smacked. Remember, I was on the Pelicans in that game. I said, this is a horrible spot for the Wolves. But with 2 days off, 2 days to steer and to be pissed off about that game, I think this is the bounce back spot for the Wolves in this one. I'm expecting Edwards and Jay McDaniels to be ruled in and the Wolves to flip to a favorite. So if you like, you can wait, because obviously if they're in, it doesn't matter if they're flipped to the favorite. It just gives you more confidence about the game. But this is something I took last night. It's the one game that I had confidence. Timberwolves plus the 2 is down to 1. It's 1.5. I still like the Timberwolves here. I put some on the money line as well. So I'm howling with the Wolves today. I'm hoping hoping that they can give the Mavs some regression. The Mavs have won 4 straight and covered 4 straight, but look who they beat. They beat the Jazz, they beat the Blazers, they beat the Grizzlies, and then they beat the Lakers by 2 coming out like when the Lakers are hungover. You see what I'm saying? In my opinion, this is the spot where the Mavs drop one, and then they got a couple more games after this that they could possibly pick up a win. But in this particular spot, without Kyrie, without guys like possibly like Seth Curry, because he might be out in this game as well, even though he hasn't been playing well, you're just limiting the ball handlers. And Lively down low versus Rudy Gobert. I think Rudy Gobert is going to baptize him tonight. So I'm with the Wolves tonight. It's my one play that I'm liking. I said I wasn't going to play anything today, but I do like the Wolves in this one. I think they come out in the first half as well. I think this is a first half and full game spot for the Wolves. I think they hold the Mavs under their team total under, which should be like 117.5. And I think Luka goes under his 33 points tonight, my guys. So give me the Wolves in this one. I like them first half and full game. Let's go over to the streets of Denver. Don't have much on it. I don't want to take the Nuggets here in this point spread range, but we know that that the team coming like a back-to-back in Denver is a bad spot. We know that. So this is a back-to-back plus third game in 4 nights for the Nets here, and they having to play in altitude. Usually this is a fade spot, but it's also not a spot that I want to feel comfortable with laying double digits with the Nuggets unless guys are out for the Nets. You look at the Nuggets, they've been going all over the place, man. They were on the road versus Houston, at home versus San Antonio, on the road versus LA, at home versus Houston. 3-game road trip, Phoenix, Sacramento, LA. 1 game at the house versus Houston. Then they go to Atlanta. Then they go to Chicago. Then back at the house. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing way too much traveling for me to be landing these points. KCP is out. I can't say if the Nets play everybody, this actually could be a spot where they could lose the game and keep it within the point spread number. This is a game that is 2 conflicting spots for me. It's just I can't make a play on it. Usually you want to bet against a team in back-to-back in altitude every single time. You want to do that every single time. The Nuggets are also coming home off traveling all over the place as well, man. So this is not a spot where I want to lay double digits with them, my guys. It's just conflicting things going on in this one. Let's go over here to the streets of Sacramento here, man. Really good game. Not really sure what's going to happen, though, to be honest. The Kings have won 7 straight and 9 out of the last 10 versus the Thunder. They're 8-1-1 against the spread last 10 versus Thunder. Now, I'd like to say that the Thunder have the better defense and that they like to attack the paint. They really have some advantage here. And I know that the Kings aren't as good this year. But I also do know that the Kings beat them earlier this season in Sacramento without De'Aaron Fox. So I don't know what to do with this game. Do the Kings just absolutely own them, or do the Thunder finally get one over them? You see what I'm saying? But when the Kings beat them without De'Aaron Fox, that kind of just tells me that they might just have the Thunder's number. They might just have their number. They're at the house. That's where they play their best basketball. They're coming off a 20-point loss as well versus the Clippers. So another game, as you could tell by this point spread, I could really see it going either way. Like I said, I'm just giving the info. Kings have absolutely owned them. In theory, the Thunder should come and get it done in this one. But like I say, you lost to this team without De'Aaron Fox. He's literally their best player. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, the whole world will be on OKC. They could possibly win, though. Panger say he likes the Kings. Avery say he likes the Kings. Dan said the Nuggets first quarter going to be a good game. That's a fact there. That's a fact. Let's go over here. A couple more games here, man. Let's go over to the streets of Portland here. This was a game that I liked the Blazers. I did like the Blazers at 1.5. I'm not surprised to see it go up. Well, I'm a little surprised. This is the first game that the Blazers have been favored all season long. Blazers are laying 3.5 now, so money's come in on them, and Markkanen is probably going to be out. When you come back from a hamstring injury and you're out for 2 or 3 weeks and you play one game and you're on a minutes restriction, most of the time they sit these guys here. So if the Jazz are on the road without Clarkson and Markkanen, I think it's a phase spot. Also, the Blazers could possibly get back Aiden. They could possibly get back Brogdon here. They've been playing some good basketball. They're 6-2 against the spread. I know they've lost 4 in a row, but they're 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 games. They already beat Utah at the house earlier this season as well. And the second game they lost at Utah went to overtime. They were 1.5 point underdog, and they lost in overtime in Utah as well. You see what I'm saying? So you look at their last 4 games. They lost one. They lost one versus Utah, that game versus Utah in overtime. Then they lost to the Warriors by 4. They lost to the Mavs at the house by 13, which they were supposed to get smacked in there. Then they took the Clippers. They gave the Clippers all they could handle there. They lost their game by 5 points. It was really a 1 point game with a few seconds left, my guys. I was watching that game. Clippers were laying 14. Blazers came out there and played a really good game as well. That's a fact, Ronald. Yeah, Keontae George got hurt as well last night and had to leave the game. He's not going to be in here as well. So I think the Jazz are really starting to go down bodies. I think that the Blazers get it done here. I did put a little something on them last night, minus the 1.5. If you'd like to lay the 3.5, I can't talk you off. Personally, if it's going to get up to 3.5, I'd like to know if Brogdon are 8 in there. If they're in there, they definitely getting this dub here for sure, my guys. So Blazers have slowly but surely been playing a lot better basketball. The Jazz are 1-11 straight up on the road, my guys. For whatever reason, they cannot win on the road, and I definitely don't think they're going to get a win on the road without Clarkson and Markkanen. If Markkanen does sit, which I was expecting Markkanen to sit. Blazers first game favorite all season. I think they get it done here at the house, my guys. Last game up, Clippers versus Warriors. The Draymond list, don't get me started on Draymond. Get this guy, kick him out. He needs to be suspended for the rest of the season. I don't like to hate on my people, but this guy is making us look bad. My guy is making us look bad. You see what I'm saying? But let's go over here to the streets of LA and this one. Clippers laying 5.5 at the house versus the Warriors. It's the same spread they laid last time at the house. They only won the game by 1. The Warriors gave the Clippers all they could handle. Now, they did have Draymond in that game. He did give them 21 points. You see what I'm saying? He had 4 threes in that game. But I also do know that Paul George could possibly not play in this game. They say that it's just his groin, but that it's just precautionary. But we would never know. They could sit him out. Clippers are hot. They've won 5 straight. They've covered 3 out of the last 5 as well in that range. They hadn't had to travel anywhere. They're at the house. This is the first. No, they don't have. This is not the first game back to back. They got the Knicks on deck. I don't have a play in this game. I'd like to say I lean Clippers. I definitely need Paul George in there. The Warriors, in theory, they could rally around the team with Draymond out, but I also do know that their defense is a lot more ass without him out there, my guys. So that's the show, man. Finna get up out of here. Sorry, it's kind of a quick show. Not really that quick. I mean, 16 minutes. I talked about every single game. I'm telling you what I like in these games. See what I'm saying? What I like, top spot of the day was not necessarily top spot, but I do like the Timberwolves here. I mean, I took the Timberwolves last night plus the 2. Also sprinkled some on the Blazers minus 1.5. I lean towards the Bulls. I lean towards the Cavs. And that's about it. I'm not even really what to lean towards in that Thunder versus Kings. Thunder, in theory, have revenge, but Kings have absolutely owned them. Won 7 straight, won 9 of last 10. They're 8-1-1 against the spread last 10 versus Thunder, my guys. So that's the show. It's all love, man. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm still back. I'm still here after a loss. You see what I'm saying? Oh! I like the Wolves, man. I think the Wolves come out here, catch the first half, full game. I think Luka stays under his team total as long as Jay McDaniels is all over him. And I think Luka stays under his points total. And I also think that Mavs stay under their team total as well, my guys. The Wolves have to come in here and win this game with defense. I think they can do it. It's all love. I'm out, my guys. Let's get this cash. We out. Let's go. Let's cash, man. Bounce back, Jay. Engaged.